With a busy weekend coming to a close, Matt Ishbia and Brian Gregory are back to get into work and have multiple updates revolving around the Phoenix Suns that we have to get to in today's episode as some stuff comes out not only on the trade front with the Phoenix Suns in a deal getting officially finalized, but some more rumors talking about the coaching staff and the two other $50 million players does come into play and discussion. So we're going to dive in and explore everything that has been happening in Suns world these last couple of days and go over my ultimate thoughts on all of it here on this episode of Suns Digest. I am Bruce Veliz, and you guys have been fantastic. You guys have been showing your love and your support on here on the channel, which has been super appreciative. Really do appreciate it. We had a fantastic stream with Brendan Queen from Locked On Suns here on Thursday, and you guys showed out. We had 150 people in this stream, which was the max I've ever had here on the channel. But not only that, just that, but after the stream, you guys went back, rewatched it, and just did a fantastic job showing your love and support. So I really do appreciate that, because not only does that show to me that you guys do care about the content, but you like the discussions, you like the streams, you like me having these guests on, and it's going to allow me to have more guests on in the future, which is just going to be great for all of us here. So I really do appreciate you guys. We're going to dive in and explore all the news here on the Suns. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And without further ado, let's dive in and let's explore these updates, as we got 4 updates for you guys here revolving around the Suns. So a lot of stuff to get into, and some of it will go by quickly, some of it will go by a little bit faster. But this is new. I accidentally spelled it with "this is news," but this is new. As we know, Kevin Durant was traded to the Houston Rockets, but we all know that the deal did not go official until July 6th due to the poison pill contract of Jalen Green. Well, that allowed the league to get multiple teams involved in this deal to make it the biggest deal in NBA history, a 7-team trade. And Shams Charania broke down that trade today as we see it here. The Suns got Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, Common Malawach, Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Brea, and Daquan Plowden, plus a second. The Rockets got Kevin Durant and Clint Capella. The Nets got 2 seconds. The Warriors got Alex Tui and Jemai Maschak. The Hawks got a second-round swap, David Roddy and Cash. The Lakers got a Dutiro. And the Timberwolves got Rocco Zakarski with 2 seconds and cash. Wow, a lot, right? But a lot of these were draft day deals or sign-and-trade deals, with the Clint Capella one getting involved. That's why David Roddy was sent to Atlanta. The Warriors, Alex Tui and Jemai Maschak, those were trades via the NBA draft, with the Suns moving up to get Kobe Brea. The Rasheer Fleming one is involving with Rocco Zakarski and Adu Thero because they traded up and traded back. Whatever, you guys know that the Suns traded away Kevin Durant, and in return got Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, Common Malawach, Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Brea, Daquan Plowden, and a second-round pick. What we do know is one of those players will not be coming to Phoenix, as Dwayne Rankin lets us know the Phoenix Suns will be waiving Daquan Plowden, as he was part of the historic 7-team trade to make the deal from Houston to Atlanta. This will cost nothing to Phoenix, as Plowden was on a 2-way with the Hawks last season and only played 6 games for Atlanta. He was a little bit of an intriguing piece. Could have been someone that maybe could have been on a 2-way before the Suns here. They feel like there is no need to bring Daquan Plowden in, so they do waive him now. Currently sitting at 15 guys on the roster, with a new looked revamped roster that is now official, with Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, Common Malawach, Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Brea, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, Nick Richards, Mark Williams, Nigel Hayes-Davis, and many, many more. And this is going to be interesting for the Suns to really see what they do get into for their future, as like I mentioned, there will be some more updates revolving around the Suns roster just in a little bit in this episode. But not only just that, but for the Suns to kind of plan what they want to do for this direction, they have to really evaluate this roster. So overall, Kevin Durant trade comes through. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, we've kind of known what this Kevin Durant trade is going to be, but obviously it has now been expanded upon, with obviously the Suns, instead of doing all those smaller deals on draft day, now being combined into one because they used those second-round picks they got on that from the Kevin Durant trade to utilize in the draft. So let me know your thoughts on that. Then we got something that's very interesting revolving around the Phoenix Suns, revolving around their coaching staff, as apparently a name has been rumored from Mark Stein here to potentially be in the possibilities of joining the Suns coaching staff. And if you want to dive in and look at that, it is a guy in Darvin Ham, as the Suns and Knicks are apparently interested in adding Darvin Ham to their coaching staff. Phoenix and New York, after the hiring of Mike Brown as the Knicks' new head coach, have expressed some interest in trying to lure Mark Darvingham away from the Bucks, has been reported from the Stein line. Now, Darvingham, obviously notoriously known for not being a great head coach on the Los Angeles Lakers, and that's where a lot of people are going to be like, why would we want Darvingham? This isn't going to be a good signing. But he's going to be an assistant coach. He's most likely going to be a defensive guy, as he's been with Milwaukee and was notoriously known for, and having problems on the offensive side over in Los Angeles. But not only just that, but Jordan Ott also worked for the Lakers under Darvingham. So there's some mutual interest and connection with them already. And I'm sure if Jordan Ott is the head coach and Darvingham is one of the assistants, it's going to work pretty decently because they already have that communication and connection. And Jordan Ott is now at the helm of things controlling the offense, where Darvingham is going to be helping controlling the defensive end. I don't necessarily think that this is a signing the Suns need to go out and make 100%, and I would not be crying if they don't get Darvingham. But if they added Darvingham, I'm not going to be riding in the streets yelling, saying this is a terrible signing, because ultimately he is solid on the defensive end. The Suns want to get better on the defensive end. And even though Jordan Ott is notoriously known for being good on both sides here, and he has brought in Damari Carroll as an assistant coach for this Suns squad already, adding another one in Darvingham, someone who's had a reputation around the league and also with Jordan Ott, I think would be pretty solid for the team to bring in. Next, let's dive in and explore the final topic here revolving around the Phoenix Suns, which revolves around two updates on the Suns' other stars that are making roughly $50 million, as Bradley Beal and Devin Booker have some updates come out about them today. First one, talking about Bradley Beal from John Gambadoro, the Suns' #1 insider, lets us know that he's expected a decision and resolution on Bradley Beal's situation in the next 24 to 48 hours. This means for Phoenix Suns fans that have been keeping an eye on the Bradley Beal clock that it does look like the buyout or stretch and waive will be coming into play either by the end of today or by the end of tomorrow. John Gambadoro has been 100% on all these things. He tweeted this out on the Kevin Durant trade, and not even like 4 hours later was Kevin Durant traded. So obviously I trust John. He's been one of the #1 main insiders. But for the Suns, this is a little bit questionable for some fans, but also there are some benefits for the Suns doing this. If Beal is bought out and stretched, the Suns can add a player up to $5.7 million without triggering the hard cap with that final roster spot. The Suns will also have that $5.7 million because they will have the extension of the non-tax mid-level because they are out of the second apron from waiving and stretching Bradley Beal this season. They also will regain the flexibility to aggregate salaries, use the MLE like I mentioned, do sign-in trades, take back more money in trades, and also send cash in deals, which gives the Suns so much more flexibility and the other moves that they look to do. If they want to combine a Grayson and a Royce to get them out at $27 million, they can. If they want to do a sign and trade with a player that is available still in free agency and get in the mix of a Jonathan Kuminga, or get in the mix of a Josh Giddey, or get in the mix of another name like a Quentin Grimes, they can go out and they can get involved. They also can take more money back in trades. So if they send out a Grayson in a deal, they can take back $22 million. They don't have to take back less money than they've had to in the past with being in the second apron. And if Beal is bought out for roughly $96 million and is stretched and waived, here's the percentage of the cap for the next 5 years, knowing that it will be waived and stretched for those 5 years. His percentage will be 12.5 this year, 11.7 next year, 10.6 next year, the year after that, 9.7 in the fourth, and 8.8 in the fifth. For reference, 8.8% of the cap in this year is roughly 13.6%, 13.6 million, which is roughly around the MLE. So getting into year 4 and year 5, yes, it would be very tough to rebuild this team in year 1 and year 2, but getting into year 3, year 4, year 5, having flexibility to make moves, even though you don't have draft picks, but having the flexibility to add people in free agency, sign and trade, aggregate salaries, that allows you to bring in new faces into this team. But also, even if you only have a hold of $13 million, that's not technically the worst in year 4 and year 5. And for courtesy of my guy John Voita from Bright Side of the Sun with doing all these breakdowns on the cap sheet and stuff, you can go and read his articles on Bright Side of the Sun to get all the information revolving around the Bradley Beal buyout. And I know he's been 100% on top of it, so you definitely want to check that out. But for the Suns, by doing this, it gives them that flexibility that they've wanted to have and haven't had all off season. We know that they signed Nigel Hayes-Davis, And now that they brought in these guys from the Kevin Durant trade and they did the Mark Williams move and stuff like that, but now they're stuck. And that's why we haven't heard anything about the Suns. And since a week now at this point, from day one of it feels like a week at this point, from day one of free agency, because there hasn't been anything they can do. They can't aggregate these salaries in a trade. They can't take more money back out in these trades. And some of these Grayson Allen, Nick Richards, Royce O'Neal deals that they might have lined up or potentially could have, combined salaries to get done, they can't physically do because they have Bradley Beal on the roster. And that's been the problem with the Suns, is trying to figure out the Bradley Beal trade first, trying to figure out the buyout, then can we figure out these moves? Should we do these moves and then do the buyout? That's been kind of the orchestrating of plans for the Suns, trying to figure out what is the best move and what can get them out of this hellhole faster. And it does seem like getting out of the Bradley Beal situation first and then diving into those contracts of Grayson, Royce, Nick Richards, and etc., potentially anybody else that could be moved on this team, will definitely be discussed in the next couple of days following the Bradley Beal news coming either today or tomorrow. And then lastly, the final update revolving around Devin Booker, as we all know. Talking about that extension, came from Dwayne Rankin that he was going to get that extension. The tweet was then deleted. So I don't necessarily know if it is confirmed that Devin Booker is still getting that 2-year, $150 million extension, but it does seem like that article maybe came out a little bit prematurely. So therefore, I will say that I do think he's going to get this 2-year, $150 million extension, as all the eyes have pointed towards this off season, that he was going to get offered this extension, he was going to accept this extension. And for everyone that's still wondering, $75 million for Devin Booker, it's not going to kick into the 28-29 season. And not only just that, a $75 million contract in 3 years is not going to look as bad as it does now. Look at everybody complaining about the $50 million contracts that were signed 2, 3, 4 years ago, and now look at what the max contract is. It already is up to 75. So in 2-3 years, I guarantee you that max contract, with all these salary caps rising, someone's going to be getting an $80, $90 million deal, maybe even a $100 million deal, when Devin Booker is getting that $75 million extension. So there'll be other people to complain about other contracts that people aren't worthy of, when Devin Booker is making a contract that he's not only worthy of for sticking with the city and being that loyal guy and showing that he still wants to be here, but also for the ability that he's been able to provide for Phoenix and staying relevant. This is a no-brainer for both sides. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Like I said, once Devin Booker officially agrees to that extension, we'll have a video coming out for you. Once Bradley Beal officially does get buyout, stretched, waived, traded, whatever does happen with him, we'll have a video for that. And then also, any other moves that happen with this Suns team, like I said, Grayson, Royce, Nick Richards, anyone else who could potentially be moved, we'll have updates for you guys on here. But I do want to apologize, obviously, for the last couple of days of not getting stuff up. But as you know, 4th of July weekend, a little bit busier here in the U.S. So we did take a little bit of a break. Now we are back and rolling. Like I said, thank you guys so much for tuning in and showing your support here on the channel. It really is appreciated. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, how you guys feel about this Phoenix Suns team. And I hope to catch you guys this week for the next stream. I'll catch you guys all later. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out, everyone.